go back to your seats now. Come back. Go back to your seats. All of you go back. Hang up. All of you go back. Except MC. MC, except MC, all go back.
Scattering will be one. an opportunity to engage in college activities. Various cells like grievance cell, equal opportunity cell, anti-ragging cell will help in bringing unity and success. The college has a good infrastructure with a huge multi-purpose hall, 9 classrooms equipped with smart boards in each room, conference hall and seminar hall. We have a canteen which provides good and healthy delicious food taken utmost care about students' health and hygiene. Books are treasures. The library at St. Joseph's is a resource of knowledge which is the perfect abode for constant knowledge seekers. Well-equipped computer laboratory sets a platform for creative and innovative works. Life at St. Joseph's will be a fun-filled atmosphere with a host of activities around the clock. Joseph's is a perfect balance of academics and extracurricular activities. Sports is the only way to foster your creativity. We have spacious playground and different indoor games. St. Joseph's work at fulfilling every student's dream. The preparatory activity, pre-internship training, sets a foundation to the students to prepare to be called efficient teachers. Thus, excellent coaching, best facilities, followed by a number of activities, both professional and academic excellence, is the signature of our college. St. Joseph's College of Education was established on the firm foundation to which emphasizes to love, to know, and to serve others. Knowledge is power, which leads to platform of continuous learning and perfection. The college, with its persistent commitment towards excellence, has been constantly transforming innumerable lives. Welcome to the world of possibilities. Welcome to the world of hopes, and welcome to the world of dreams to be explored. Welcome to St. Joseph's College of Education. The esteemed motto of our college is love, loyalty, and service. At present, the college is efficiently managed under the patronage of His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, the Bishop of Mysuru, and the dynamic leadership of the Secretary, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, and the most enthusiastic Administrator, Reverend Father Avinash. As the helm of affairs, we have our Principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, who is heading towards greater excellence through her dedication and determination. The faculty at St. Joseph's is a crew of academicians, research scholars, and experts. Their rich expertise and experience molds and transforms every student into better individual. Student Council provides an opportunity to engage in college activities. Various cells like grievance cell, equal opportunity cell, anti-ragging cell will help in bringing unity and success. The college has a good infrastructure with a huge multi-purpose hall, 9 classrooms equipped with smart boards in each room, conference hall and seminar hall. We have a canteen which provides good and healthy delicious food taken utmost care about students' health and hygiene. Books are treasures. The library at St. Joseph's is a resource of knowledge which is the perfect abode for constant knowledge seekers. Well-equipped computer laboratory sets a platform for creative and innovative works. Life at St. Joseph's will be a fun-filled atmosphere with a host of activities around the clock. Joseph's is a perfect balance of academics and extracurricular. St. Joseph's College of Education was established on the firm foundation to which emphasizes to love, to know, and to serve others. Knowledge is power, which leads to a platform of continuous learning and perfection. The college, with its persistent commitment towards excellence, has been constantly transforming innumerable lives. Welcome to the world of possibilities. Welcome to the world of hopes. And welcome to the world of dreams to be explored. Welcome to St. Joseph's College of Education. The esteemed motto of our college is love, loyalty, and service. At present, the college is efficiently managed under the patronage of His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, the Bishop of Mysuru, and the dynamic leadership of the Secretary, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, and the most enthusiastic Administrator, Reverend Father Avinash. As the helm of affairs, we have our Principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, who is heading towards greater excellence through her dedication and determination. The faculty at St. Joseph's is a crew of academicians, research scholars, and experts. We have spacious playground and different indoor games. St. Joseph's work at fulfilling every student's dream. The preparatory activity, pre-internship training, sets a foundation to the students to prepare to be called efficient teachers. Thus, excellent teaching, best facilities, followed by a number of activities, both professional and academic excellence, is the signature of our college.
Is escorted by our very own Dr. Priya Matthew with a standing ovation. Kindly be seated. A very good morning and a hearty welcome to one and all to the two-day international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges, and innovations in collaboration with International Gandhian Initiatives for Nonviolence and Peace, IGINP. It is indeed an honor to be part of such esteemed panel, delegates and dignitaries. The dawn of 21st century has brought about a paradigm shift to the field of education. Although aided with technology, the harsh reality is that higher education is facing numerous challenges and is facing the threat of becoming mediocre. The purpose of the international seminar is to shed light on the issues faced by higher education, suggest innovative solutions to improve the quality of education, focus on holistic development, inclusive education, and emphasize on the need of techno-pedagogic competencies in a modern teacher. Prayer is not overcoming God's reluctance, but laying hold of His willingness, says Martin Luther. Every morning is a surprise, every sunrise is a challenge, and each day is a gift. To give the first fruit of the day to the Lord is the most valuable way to show our love to the superior most.
With these sentiments in our mind, let us invoke the blessings of the Lord on all of us through a prayer dance.
Thank you, Ms. Anne and team, for instilling a realm of spirituality in us through your graceful performance.
request Dr. Priya Matthew, our beloved principal, to escort the dignitaries onto the dais. Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Valapilli, the Bishop Emeritus of Mysore, Professor Jagannath Dange, Professor of Education, Kuvempu University, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary of the Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, Father Avinash, the Administrator and Priest in charge of St.Joseph's College of Education, Ms. Sudha Srinivas Reddy, member of IGINP. Kindly be seated. For there is always light if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. Amanda Gorman.
May I now request the dignitaries to light the lamp and officially inaugurate the international seminar and the newly renovated multi-purpose hall. Let the light dispel the darkness within us.
I request the audience to kindly rise. Of ignorance be swept away by the dawn of self-realization. Thank you, dignitaries. We also have the pleasure of having Reverend Father Madalai Muthu amidst us.
Welcoming is the noblest of all gestures. We are made for goodness. We are made for love. We are made for all of the beautiful things that you and I know. We are made to tell the world that there are no boundaries. All are welcome. May I now request Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary, Mysuru Diocesan Educational Society, to welcome the gathering. Over to you, Father.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Valapilli, the President of the program, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and dear staff, my dear students, good morning to one and all. The only way that we can live is if we grow. The only way that we can grow is if we change. The only way that we can change is if we learn. The only way we can learn is if we are exposed. And the only way that we can become exposed is if we throw ourselves out into the open. Do it, throw yourself. See Joy Belsi. Once again, very good morning to one and all. I'm so excited to witness this August gathering for the inaugural ceremony of the eagerly awaited two-day international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges, and innovations. Dear friends, Mysuru Diocesan Educational Society, that is MDES, with a large network of educational institutions across the southern districts of Karnataka, presided over by His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, the Bishop of Mysuru, look up to St. Joseph's College of Education as the mother institution, especially for the domains of academics, teaching, learning, and pedagogy. This year, the college gloriously reaches the milestone of 50 years of her golden journey, guided with the motto, love, loyalty, and service. Amidst the joys of this accomplishment, MDES is delighted to see one more feather on the hat of this esteemed institution. That is the international seminar in collaboration with international Gandhian initiatives of non-violence and peace, Ontario, Canada. On this auspicious occasion, it puts me on cloud 9 to welcome everyone present here on behalf of MDES and St. Joseph's College of Education. To begin with, a very inspiring, encouraging, and kind-hearted personality is our Bishop Emeritus, Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Wallapalli. He has shepherded the Catholic Diocese of Mysuru with the spiritual and material welfare of the faithful and had been a popular and progressive-minded president of Mysuru Diocesan Educational Society. We are extremely happy to have you, dear Excellency, to preside over this inaugural ceremony. I would like to wholeheartedly welcome you, dear Lordship. A hearty welcome to you. Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor and Chairman, PG Department of Education, Kuvempu University, Shivamogga, is a prominent educationist. His scholastic journey is an inspiration to all who know him. It is a privilege for us today to be with him as a well-known author with many books and articles to his credit. This international seminar is going to be enriched with his presence and inaugural address. I accord a hearty welcome to you, dear Professor Jagannath. A hearty welcome to you. We are extremely happy to collaborate with international Gandhian initiatives for non-violence and peace, IGINP, for this international seminar. We have a versatile personality with us, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, member of IGINP and coordinator in child-related issues, Food and Nutrition Security Program at Center for Child and the Law at National Law School of Indian University, Bangalore. I would like to wholeheartedly welcome you, dear ma'am, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy. Dear friends, we have amidst us Reverend Father Madalai Muthu, the treasurer of MDES and cluster correspondent of St. Joseph's Women's College, Satgalli and Ramanalli, and Reverend Father Avinash, the administrator of MDES and priest in charge of St. Joseph's campus, Jayalakshmipuram. who constantly support us in all our activities. And we have Reverend Father Arogya Antony, the priest in charge of St. Joseph Central Schools. Their valuable efforts in the planning and execution of this event are clearly visible and highly appreciated. A hearty welcome to you, dear fathers. We have Dr. Priya Matthew, the principal of St. Joseph's College of Education, Dr. Asha P. Patros, the seminar convener and IQAC coordinator of St. Joseph's College of Education, Mrs. Joyce Lobo, the CEO of St. Joseph's Institution, MDES, Mr. Sebi Maveli, CEO, Training and Development Wing, MDES, Mrs. Moses Jayashekhar, CEO of MDS, all the principals, heads, staff, students, a hearty welcome to you. Participants of this international seminar have come from various parts of the country and abroad. A warm welcome to you, dear professors, teacher trainees, and other participants. We have the staff and students of St. Joseph's College of Education ensuring that all go well with this event. A warm welcome to you, dear staff and students. As the saying goes, I keep 7 honest serving men. Their names are what, why, when, who, which, where, and how. Now, let curiosity activate these 7 honest men throughout the deliberations of this seminar. And I wish you all a productive and resourceful time here. Once again, a hearty welcome to all of you. Thank you. May God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, for the heartwarming welcome. It is indeed an honor to extend a cordial welcome to you as well, a pillar of strength to this elite institution, without whom today's event would not have been possible. A warm welcome to you, Father Vijay Kumar.
May I now request Dr. Priya Matthew, our beloved principal, to give the overview of the 2-day international seminar.
A very good morning to one and all. His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Vairapalli, Emeritus Bishop of Mysuru, respected dignitaries, invited guests, delegates, and all fellow participants. I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to this international seminar on higher education. It is said and understood that the teachers are the main ingredients in giving quality education. And being a teacher education institution, the management and staff of St. Joseph's College of Education is always seeking to improve the quality of education. Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary and Correspondent of MDES, came up with the vision of organizing a seminar on the theme Higher Education, Emerging Trends, Challenges and Innovations as an initiative for quality education improvement. When it was shared with us, the faculty of this institution collaborated to implement and give life to this vision. St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysuru, a pioneering institution of teacher education, was established in the year 1971 under the Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, Mysuru. The college is affiliated to the University of Mysore. It's a religious Christian minority institution which catered to the needs of rural and urban secondary schools over the last 50 years. The college has an excellent academic record with rank holders in the university examination. The college has alumni of about 5,000 members and serving private and government institutions all over the country and abroad in various leadership roles. We are happy to conduct this seminar as a part of the Golden Jubilee year of St. Joseph's College of Education and in collaboration with IGINP. It's an institution working at the national and international level to promote the ideas of Gandhi and non-violence. IGINP focused on training of the marginalized communities, especially women, as well as with the youth on peace and justice issues. In 2007, Dr. Jill Carr Harris, the founder of IGINP, helped to establish the International Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence and Peace in Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and in 2017 supported the establishment of its sister organization, IGINP Canada. When we approached IGINP, they wholeheartedly agreed to collaborate with us. Today, we have with us Dr. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, a founder member of IGINP as their representative. The goal of this seminar is to foster innovative practices in higher education and to provide a platform to discuss the plethora of opportunities and challenges in education under the sub-themes of multidisciplinary and holistic education, peace education, inclusive education, women empowerment, techno-pedagogical skills, and innovative practices as we are moving to embrace the policies of National Education Policy 2020. The seminar is spread out in 2 days with 2 technical sessions per day, thereby delivering a total of 4 technical sessions from our different resource persons. Day 1, session 1 by Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor and Chairman, PG Department of Education, Kumbu University, Karnataka, on challenges and emerging trends of higher education. Session 2 by Dr. Jill Carr Harris, Lead Coordinator, J. Jagat, IGINIP, Canada, India, on integrating non-violence and peace into Indian education. Day 2, Session 3 by Dr. Soni Mary Varghese, Assistant Professor, Pete Memorial Training College, Kerala, on the topic, Preparing Prospective Teachers for 21st Century Inclusive Classroom. Session by Dr. K. Thiagu, Assistant Professor, Central University of Kerala, on techno-pedagogical skills of the 21st century. We have arranged 4 parallel sessions in 3 different slots for paper presentation for the participants. Experts from various fields will be joining us as chairpersons during these paper presentation sessions. We are happy to announce that we have received around 85 research and theme-based papers for presentations from various parts of the country. We have research scholars from Lincoln University College, Malaysia, and other universities in India, together with the professors from various fields, professionals, psychologists, sociologists, resource persons, researchers, budding students from various colleges across the country to share their knowledge and ideas to strengthen and dedicate themselves for the upliftment of their institution. These types of forum where we can share ideas and discuss various related topics would enhance our knowledge and will surely help us in nurturing the quality in higher education level. The first step in teaching students to innovate is to make sure that the educators have opportunities to be innovators themselves. I'm confident that the themes that are going to be discussed during these 2 days will surely give us a stronger knowledge base to enrich and become more innovative in our classrooms. As the famous author Amit Rai has said, unless you challenge yourself, you will not be learned. You will not grow. Education is the art of challenging and overcoming. Let us try to challenge ourselves to learn and grow. I'm sure that these 2 days will be a historical event for St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysuru, and a resourceful seminar for all the participants. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am, for the elaborate overview of the 2-day international seminar. It is our great pleasure in having such an elite panel for the international seminar. A man of vibrant personality and down-to-earth nature, Professor Jagannath Dange, Professor in Education, Kuvempu University. I now request Mrs. Annie Jaishila to formally introduce our esteemed guest.
There is no easy walk to success. And many of us will have to pass through the valley of hardship, sacrifices, and determination again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Nelson Mandela. Greetings to each one of you present here. I am extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to introduce Professor Jagannath K. Dange, Professor, Department of PG Studies in Education. Professor Dange is a well-known personality in the field of education among the B.Ed colleges of the state and nationwide. An excellent academician, educationist, has contributed much to the field of education and inspiration to many. A vibrant, active, amazing person with a humane touch, very down-to-earth and an approachable person. To start off, Professor has pursued his MSc Psychology from University of Madras, MA Sociology from our very own KSOU, MEd from Gulbarga University, PhD, has cleared NET and SLET in education. Professor is right now the chairperson, PG Department of Education at Shimoga. Sir has developed content in multimedia, has worked in various capacities at various advisory boards, has organized almost 36 programs. Professor is a recognized MPhil and PhD guide from Kuvempu University, Karnataka, India. Has successfully guided 3 MPhils and 12 PhD candidates. Professor has been the resource person in Doordarshan, Chandana TV, in All India Radio Akashvani, and Bhadravati Yuvavani program, has presented 42 international, 63 national, 3 state, and 1 regional papers. Sir has taken training in various courses, programs, national and international. Has authored 14 books, published 283 papers. He is a member of various advisory and editorial boards. Sir has to his crown 7 awards. Is into various boards of the university, has visited various countries as a resource person. The list goes on. We are extremely happy and privileged to have you at our institution and at this seminar, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome you, dear sir, to this session. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony, sir. Reverend Father Vijay Kumar. And Father Madalai, Father Avinash. And the Honorable Member of IGINP, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, the Honorable Principal of this college, Dr. Priya Matthewji, and the seminar convener, Dr. Asha Petros, and all the dignified members of this community, and honorable members of this college, teaching and non-teaching staff, the dignified colleagues from teacher education sector, from university as well as from the teacher education institutions, and lovely students. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and I feel elated to be a part of such a wonderful program. The reason why is, just 1 year back, we had passed a very serious time, as we can say, the pandemic, which has created a lot of havocs in all the space of life. And naturally, it affected the education sector too. And the changes which has been taken place by the pandemic in the teaching learning process, in the administration, in the management, in the learning process especially, we couldn't imagine actually these kind of the changes which we need to adopt, which we need to experience, and we need to change. But today we realized that the kind of teaching, the kind of learning aspects we had learned, we had practiced all these years were never useful to a greater extent. That was the one important aspect which brought the changes in the teaching learning process at all levels. The second important thing is, recently we got a document, that is National Education Policy of 2020, which has given a lot of recommendations in relation to the higher education sector. And most of the recommendations are quite new. In bridging those two important spheres of life, two important aspects of life, what challenges we are facing nowadays in the higher education sector, especially in India, in particular, and in the entire world in general. These are the two aspects we need to introspect, we need to debate, we need to discuss a lot at the different platforms. And I feel this platform would definitely provide ample opportunity to all the participants and different stakeholders to share their views and introspect ourselves what need to be done to address those challenges. How we update ourselves for the new innovations which are coming up, and how to adjust ourselves with the new trends which are experiencing nowadays. So I feel the title itself is very need-based, quite neatly crafted by the organizing team with the help of the different stakeholders, as I can feel. So in relation to that, I would like to thank the organizing team for giving me this wonderful opportunity for sharing my views and presenting in the form of inaugural address. Of course, there are a lot of issues which I have brought to you which I will discuss in my session. But few things to highlight here. We know that the very intention of education is to uplift the man's innate abilities. We all strongly believe that. Every individual is unique, and the unique competencies have to be addressed and uplifted with the help of education. And higher education is the epitome of that. And we need to understand the different knowledge perspectives where we can address in higher education. And I feel equality is the prime responsibility of education. Unless and until you bring the equality in education, nothing can be solved, nothing can be done. Because if partiality is there in education, it is itself a threat to education and mankind. And all these institutions, they are striving really hard to uplift the group which is marginalized, which was untouched and unreached over the decades of time. So this is what is required in education in general and higher education in particular. And if you see the document of National Education Policy, which has rightly mentioned that there are 5 important challenges of higher education. And those are the accessibility, equity, affordability, quality, and the accountability. If any education system addresses these challenges, naturally the education system would be best to the mankind. And all the nations, not just India, entire world is behind this. Every document released by the different countries are striving hard to achieve these challenges, to overcome these challenges. And in relation to that, the accessibility is the big challenge of a country like India, because it's a very populous country. The even enrollment of higher education in India is 40 million. You won't believe, in the entire world there are 40 countries whose population is less than 40 crore. So this is what the big challenge we are facing today, that, and the Knowledge Commission of 2009 has rightly mentioned that at least there must be 1,500 higher education institutions and universities which can serve the Indian population. But till today, we are having just 1,043 universities and 40,000 plus colleges and 16,000 standalone colleges. So still we haven't reached to the expansion which needed to be done in India in particular. And the other aspect is the inclusive setup which needed to be there in the higher education. Irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, race, irrespective of the intellectual ability of the individuals, the learning styles, we need to update and adopt and provide the opportunity for all the learners. If we could do that, actually, that would be a very important step ahead. We can reach the accessibility of higher education to all. And you won't believe, actually, there are more than 35 varieties of schools in India. Primary and secondary schools. If such a huge number of varieties of schools are there in India, means how can we adopt and equate ourselves to train them in the higher education sector under one roof? If you just see the differences between the kind of government schools, the kind of CBSE schools and the private schools, the entire structure differs. You take infrastructure, you take the teaching styles of the teachers, the language they use, the socio-economic background from students come. How can we equate these different sects of students in one roof in higher education? How to prepare the curriculum, how to train them? If we expect the equality, that's what the Gandhian study says actually. They are doing a lot of work in terms of creating that non-violence and bringing the equality among the local masses, especially around the globe. So how to do it? It can be a very big challenge again. And if you take the teacher's role, again there is a big lacuna. Most of the teachers are not updated themselves in the higher education. Still, many of the teachers don't know how to start a system. They need the help of their students to operate the PowerPoint presentation. So in this situation, the world is going somewhere actually. The ubiquitous kind of learning we are expecting nowadays. Learning from everywhere, from everyone. So how to adjust with that pace is also one of the very big challenge. And the quality of teaching which is expected by the higher education around the world need to be updated. And that must be transparent. This is very important. That's what all the accrediting bodies are expecting, that every teaching learning act must be transparent. Whatever you are teaching in the classroom need to be displayed in the different platforms, need to be evaluated properly in 360 degree. Maybe the evaluation by the students, teachers themselves, as well as the parents and the higher authorities. So that is the new trend we are having. So how to adjust with that? How to solve these problems? And appointments is a big challenge. Not only in India, it's in the entire world actually. We are having 14 lakh teachers in the higher education sector in India. The ratio is also very big, 1:28. How can we reduce it actually? There are a lot of vacancies in central universities. You won't believe, AIMS, one of the best institutions of the world, is having a dearth of 80% vacancy of teaching profession, where the best doctors will be prepared, all India medical sciences. So it's also part of higher education. Recently, we have read that there are 467 vacancies in the Mysuru University. Then how to handle those teaching learning processes? Who is handling it? If the qualified teachers are not there, we are running the show with the help of guest faculty. Is it ideal? For how many years we can run like this? If we want to compete globally. We are talking about Stanford, Harvard and Massachusetts Institute of Technologies. They stand high in the rankings. None of the Indian universities are there in the ranking list. What is the reason? These are all the reasons. It's not just one, there are n number of reasons actually. And the big challenge is the political interference. Nobody is talking about that. In every sphere of higher education, you find a political leader. You won't believe. For just taking an MA admission, a political leader calls you and asks you to give a slot. And which is quite normal for getting PhD also. They will have their own slots of PhD students. They recommend to take you. So such kind of interference will really hurdle in the higher education sector. They are acting as the big challenges. And unless and until we think and introspect and make the changes in the system, we will not grow. The challenges will be there forever, because we are all the stakeholders of this higher education system. And unless and until the professionalism in this higher education, we cannot move ahead, we cannot grow. We always blame one another. That is a big challenge, I would say. No doctor will blame other doctor. No lawyer will blame other lawyer. But one teacher will naturally blame other teacher. This is what a big challenge is. Always we say that other teacher is wrong and I am right. But no doctor says the other doctor has wrongly diagnosed you. He always says that, yes, I will change the prescription and this is what you have to use. So this is what the professionalism we have to adopt. At least in this era, because this era is entirely changed. The learning ability of the students have been changed. Parents are expecting something more than that, what we have addressed all these years. So which is indirectly and directly making a point that we need to change ourselves. And the one important aspect I would like to highlight, and I conclude my inaugural address, that we know that earlier the powerful person was one who had more land. That's the reason why a lot of kings used to conquer the other kingdoms. They wanted to have more lands. After that, the industrial revolution has changed the power again. Those who were having more industries, they were more powerful. But today, again there is a change. One who is having more data is more powerful now. No land, no industries. Why this has been happened actually? The one example I will quote here, by name, Elon Musk. Recently he has purchased Twitter. You might be knowing it. Do you know the price of that? It is $42 billion. You won't imagine. Nowhere it is existed in the air. Nobody can touch that Twitter. What made that person to purchase it for a huge amount? Was he mad? The reason why I will tell you, another fascinating thing is, in the globe, there are 70 countries whose annual budget is less than $42 billion. This is the reality. The reason why Facebook, WhatsApp are giving freely means they are taking the data from us. We are all providers of the data to those companies. This is what the challenge is now. How to stop it, how to overcome it. What they do with that data? They are doing computing with our data. Whenever I add a snap to the Facebook knows that actually I am interested in something. Just for example, if you take a dish, you are taking dinner in a hotel and mentioning that you are interested in taking that dish means, the automation is identifying your interests. If you are taking a selfie and uploading it to the Facebook or sharing it in the WhatsApp means, the WhatsApp group is collecting your information indirectly. And slowly and steadily, we are providing all our important personal data to the companies. That's the reason why one who is having more data will rule the world now. This is also one of the challenge of higher education. How to overcome it actually? Do you know Google is very rich than many countries actually? It will not produce a single button. Then how it is earning and why it is spending so much amount of that actually? It is all because the algorithms which are being monitored, which are being mentored. All the data which we provide is used by algorithms, and tomorrow there will be a big challenge for all of us, not only for the teachers. Everything will be decided by the algorithms. The algorithm will tell you what you have to eat, how you have to eat, what tablet you have to take, to whom you have to visit in terms of doctor, lawyer, and even to whom you have to marry. Because every data we are providing, and that algorithm will tell that what is my nature. Even I may not be knowing my personal things, but that algorithm will be telling you that who you are, what is your interest, what is your aptitude, and how intelligent you are. This is what we are giving every day, and that's the reason why a very important person who is an Israel intellectual by name Yuval Noah Harari, he has published a very important book. Please read it. Its name is 21st Lessons for the 21st Century, wherein he has rightly mentioned that there will be no job market for the professionals who are working in this era. Maybe after 10 years, we may be jobless. The doctors who are working in the clinic may be jobless because a software will be doing that work of a doctor. Already, all governments have already insisted that every teacher has to record their own lessons and they have to be published, they have to be uploaded in the website. And tomorrow, students will be just viewing those videos and there will not be required of any teacher in the classroom. So hence he rightly suggested that it is not only the jobless market we get, and even those who will be in the profession may not work as well because they will not be having of that competency to work in that era. So unless and until I update myself to the next generation, I cannot work in the workforce. So So this is what a big alarming thing for all the stakeholders of higher education, wherein we have to think and act. As we all know that slowly and steadily there will be no classrooms. There will be no students in the schools and colleges. And there will be no doctors in the hospitals. Why? Everything will be virtualized. The schools, colleges will be virtual. Digital libraries we are having now. Digital laboratories we will be having now. And slowly we are keeping away ourselves from the fields. If the things are so, if this thing will come, what would be the challenges? How a human being can interact with the other human being? Only we are interacting with the machines every day, more than human beings. The kind of device which we are using nowadays is a very dangerous device, I will tell you. We need to use technology, there is no other go. But how to use it, using in a very sensible form, is also a very important thing to be considered for today's generation, because the problems are there in the field. These are the problems created by ourselves, nobody else. We cannot blame others unless we sit together, we introspect ourselves, and unless and until we find the solutions to the problems or the challenges, this field will be remain so same to the next generation also, and the challenges will be always in the field. And I feel this would be a wonderful opportunity for all of us to sit together, to introspect and think what best we can suggest, what best we can change ourselves so that we can bring the changes in the higher education sector. And I feel all the 4 important sessions would definitely throw light on those challenges as well as the trends. And even the paper presentations by all the stakeholders and the teacher educators will also throw some light. And at the end of the session, I feel that there should be at least a memorandum, a list of suggestions, so that we can suggest it to the government, policymakers, curriculum developers, parents, teachers and students. So by doing that, actually, we can bring a lot of changes into the teacher education as well as the higher education sector, not only India, which is required to the entire world. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my views in the inaugural address. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. Through your inspiring words, you have made all of us realize how important and appropriate the theme of this seminar is. Your inspiring words have truly made us to self-introspect and to get ready for the new challenges. Thank you, sir. May I now request Mrs. Annie Jayasheela to formally introduce Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, an active member of International Gandhian Initiatives for Non-Violence and Peace.
I deem it a pleasure to introduce Madam Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, founder member of IGINP and coordinator in child-related issues, food and nutrition security program at Center for Child and the Law at National Law School of Indian University, Bangalore. Madam has more than 25 years of experience in social development sector, which includes organizational development and project management, strategic planning, implementation, project monitoring, action research, capacity building trainings, advocacy, and campaign at the national and international level. Worked with interdisciplinary teams at international and national levels. Ma'am has taken different kinds of training in international level, such as training in gender sensitization at Xavier University, Philippines, and Indo-UK Trainers Training Program on Empowerment of Women, National Institute for Rural Development, Hyderabad. Various other training programs at the national level. Ma'am has undertaken various projects and taken up various portions in different fields such as Asia Coordinator, Alliance for Responsible and Sustainable Societies, Director, Gram Swaraj Samiti, a grassroots NGO, Karnataka, faculty member in Cognitive Development Program for preschool children, and so on. On national and international civil society and academic platforms, ma'am has participated and presented papers on diverse social themes and published books and articles in various journals. Madam's association with academic institutions and civil society networks in various capacities shows her keen interest in this social work for a cause. It is indeed a great privilege to have you with us this day, ma'am. We are grateful to you to have agreed to join us in spite of your busy schedule on a short notice. We wholeheartedly welcome you to address this gathering.
I think for my height. So, maybe that's. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for. Sorry. Is that okay? Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that introduction. I will not take more time. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, teachers and staff and dear students. It's in fact, it's really my honor and a privilege to participate on behalf of the International Gandhian Initiative for Nonviolence and Peace in this 2-day seminar, international seminar on higher education. Because I don't get into that, emerging trends and challenges, organized by St.Joseph's College of Education, Mysuru. I'm really thankful to the organizers for having invited me to this special program. I'm sure, you're all curious about this International Gandhian Initiative for Nonviolence and Peace. What is this? It's a long term, and it's a Gandhian and international, initiatives and all that. Okay, let me share a brief background, though already ma'am has shared a bit. In fact, this is IGINP is a trust that promotes peace at a global level while addressing the social justice issues at the local level. It works within the Center for Experiencing Social and Cultural Interaction, that is called CESI, is based in Madurai, near Madurai, in Tamil Nadu. So it's aimed to demonstrate the well-being for all as a sustainable development framework, preferable to merely achieving economic growth for a few. In fact, IGINP desires to show that ethics, justice, and reverence for the earth are possible in global, national, local governance structures. And with it, there evolves a more peaceful society. That's the well-being of one community. So, you must be wondering, as Sir was mentioning just now, the challenges. It's almost like, what is this? Again matarta idira neevu. I mean, it's a kind of a serious thinking what we really need, serious introspection, what as Sir suggested. So that's why it's a unique platform for learning about different non-violent practices. These non-violent practices are geared to achieving a society free from discrimination and violence in all its forms. In fact, in India, IGINP focuses on educational programs that minimize violence and promote values of non-violence meant to establish peace. And there is also IGINP Canada that carries out education for peace through justice programs. Anyway, we do have one quarterly journal called Ahimsa. And the present focus is mainly on the global campaign for peace, non-violence and justice. That's a Jai Jagat 2020 which we started. But due to the COVID, we had to stop for a while. Otherwise, we were going on ahead with a large-scale awareness, resolving conflict and violence emerging out of marginalization, especially affecting women, Adivasis and outcast communities. And then organizing training of youth and women peacemakers on the basis of non-violence, basics of non-violence. In this connection, several international dialogues have been held among women peace activists from across the world. In fact, we brought many peacemakers who are at the grassroots, who are not heard, not big women at the grassroots, even in the villages, who are really into peace building and peacemaking. We never understand. Even it could be in the family, it could be in the community, or we know that how it's in the Northeast, how women, participated in peace building, in negotiating, conflict resolutions and all that. So we brought those women to discuss about how to go ahead further. And also one more thing, we are also looking at the violent economy and the violence. As Sir was mentioning, is nothing but a violence. What's happening on us, about us, everywhere. It's a kind of. So we're looking at how to work towards realizing a non-violent economy and governance structure. Of course, this looks like a very large, is a visionary, but there are many experiments and many, a lot of work has been taking place in many countries about this. So anyway, that's a part of our work. Then returning to our today's discussion, in the present global context, although human society today has achieved an immense progress in science, technology and production, it has not been able to mitigate the sufferings of humankind. I hope you all agree with this, sir. So poverty, inequality, illiteracy and ignorance, wars and violence still remain great threats for global stability and prosperity. Uncertainty and political, religious, ethnic conflicts are spreading across the world. I need not repeat this. Political and economic systems are facing newer and complex challenges. It's not something what happened at 10 years, at 20 years, even 5 years back. Now it is really emerging. It's very complex. And then also, reductionist science is rapidly changing human civilization. Competing nationalism poses threats to global collective security. The violent destruction of our Mother Earth is another area of concern, resulting in ever-increasing ecological crisis. I'm sure you all agree with me. Forceful evictions and displacement of millions of people pose bigger challenge to the idea of citizenship itself. Right? So then what is conflict? The conflict is the consequence of a man's greed to acquire more than what he is entitled to, and the exhibition of his aggressive power. The need to respect others is replaced by the desire to rule and conquer. Conflict can be in the form of direct violence, like civil wars and natural disasters at a macro level, or in the form of indirect structural violence that emerge from the caste, class, oppression, and poverty, and also marginalization of those that are already in vulnerable state at the local level. An immediate casualty of such conflicts and violence has been women and children. The important question, therefore, is which social order will lead to conditions that encourage a society to learn from its mistakes and relearn to create peaceful and sustainable societies? Which social order? That perhaps Sir also has asked us to introspect. Right? There are also some of the some of the major challenges raise critical concerns about the very foundational models of education and citizenship at all levels. Reimagining education and global citizenship in action is the need of the hour in addressing this. So what kind of education we need then? One of the well-known Indian philosophers on education is J. Krishnamurti regards education as prime significance in the communication of that which is central to the transformation of the human mind and the creation of new culture. Such a fundamental transformation takes place when the child, while being trained in various skills and disciplines, is also given the capacity to be awake to the process of her and his own thinking, feeling, and action. While this is the true essence of education, often emphasized by the educationists. In the presence of dominance of neoliberal model of development, there is a growing realization at all levels that the existing models have failed. And there is a total dearth of relevance between the human being and the complex contemporary society. So, at a time like this, we need to address not only the structure of education, but also the nature and quality of human mind and life, thus calling for a transformative new approach that breaks through the frontiers of particular cultures. The new approach establishes an entirely new set of universal values, which in turn can create compassionate civilization, that is, global humane beings. Please note this, I'm not talking about the human being, I'm saying global humane beings, who with increased critical awareness and committed action transform the lives of others, especially of the deprived sections of the society at the local, national, and global levels. So, Gandhi considered transformative nonviolence as a major goal of human civilization, where citizens' egoistic, utilitarian attitude is contrasted with an enormous effort to foster responsibility, empathy, and sense of duty. Within this approach, Gandhi pursued freedom and independence in terms of justness of conduct through a redefinition of civilization. He illustrates how a civilization based on harmony, empathy, and ethicality could be the answer to the problem of violence, domination, and injustice. It is really heartening to see more and more international debates and dialogues about the kind of education how we need for the personal and social transformation. It's more now, we can say, it's a technical transformation. I'm sorry, we need to again re-emphasize personal and social transformation. Gandhi's ideas on education are not only based on moral principles, but also on social realities. These realities are poverty, illiteracy, education aimed at only desk jobs, urbanization, mechanization, causing divides in development. So Gandhi's idea of Nayi Talim, that's a new education, has a moral basis and social, political, economic aspects of the development of the youth. In fact, he emphasized on the development of the youth. That's very important. In this process, Gandhi remarks on the then education system, and these remarks stand valid even today. It is in this context that this educational paradigm is of critical to reaffirm eternal values of ecosystems. In the future generations, who evolve into global humane beings and shoulder ethical responsibility that paves way to prevent turmoil of violence, corruption, and greed facing the world today and future. So with these few thoughts on the urgent need for transformative education, I look forward to the discussions on various dimensions of education these 2 days. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity again. Thank you so much.
shedding light on IGINP, its initiatives, visions, and the most prominent mission, that is the well-being of the community with non-violent practices. It is indeed important to eradicate poverty, inequality, and non-violence that serves as barriers in promoting education throughout the world. Indeed, conflict resolution, the critical part of living. And also, thank you for emphasizing the importance of being global human beings and also developing personal and social qualities within everyone. Thank you, ma'am. We are privileged enough to have amongst us His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Valapilli, the Honorable Bishop Emeritus of Mysore. I cordially invite you, Your Lordship, to deliver the presidential address.
Dear Dr. Jagannath Danke, Professor, Colombo University, Mrs. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, member of IGNP, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Dr. Priya Matthew, Dr. Asha P. Patros, and all other dignitaries on the stage, my dear participants of this seminar, and my dear students. Some years back, an opinion poll was conducted to know what the people most like, which is the profession which people most like. And the majority of the people voted the teacher's profession. Second was a doctor, and the last was the politicians. So from that we can make out how the people respect and appreciate the profession of a teacher. Because as you know, if what we are today, everything started from the teacher. It is the teacher who gave us the first elements of the literature, the values, and all other things. So the teachers have got an important role to play. Earlier, it was understood the education is giving some information about a particular thing in a classroom with instructions. But the true education is not merely giving some information. It is formation of the person, formation of a human being. It is the teachers who form the persons who are with them. And that is why the parents have got a great confidence in the teachers. They know that the teachers will form their children in the right way with the right values. But today, with the advancement of technology, the whole thing is changed. It is no more giving information in the classroom and giving some instructions. As Dr. Jagannath was telling, a day may come, classrooms may not be needed. Today we are speaking about online classes. Already we experienced during the pandemic. So, a child can sit in his own house, her own house, and learn through online. So classroom is not the most important thing. In the technological world, we find the changes that are taken place. For example, the mobile, IT, and so many other things. So, the educational system itself has to change and is changing. And I'm happy that during this Golden Jubilee year, you have taken the right topic for your seminar, Emerging Trends, Challenges and Innovations. With these technological changes, a lot of things have changed already. But then, we should not forget all these changes should be aimed at formation and transformation of the human person. The human person is at the heart of education. We are not objects. We are not like animals, but we are human persons. So that aspect of the person, the dignity of the human person should be upheld in our educational system. Whatever be the type of education, whatever be the type of changes that we may bring, but the center of this education should be the human formation of the person, of the child or adult. And that's why our speaker, Mrs. Sudha Srinivas Reddy, rightly said, today what we need is a dialogue, interpersonal relationship. With this technology, we have forgotten this aspect of dialogue and interpersonal relationship. Take for example, in a family, there is not much inter-relationship. They have no time. All are busy with the TV, all are busy with the mobiles, and there is no proper communication between husband and wife, parents and children. And that has affected the human life. Today, social media is playing a great role. And we must appreciate, through the social media, we are able to progress a lot. But at the same time, the social media should be in the right path. They should not go away from the right values. And that is the most important thing education provides to the social media or to the technology. If we go away from the human values, social values, spiritual values, then our progress is not a real progress. The real progress should aim at promoting the values. Why today we have so much violence in the world? So much violence because we are not able to live together. We are not able to communicate together. As it is said, we have progressed so much that man can reach the moon. Man can walk on the moon. And so many other technological progress that we see. But man has not learned to love each other. There comes the need of the proper education. If the education aims at forming and transforming the human person with the true values, then we can start loving each other. So much of selfishness is in the mind of everyone, which blocks the real progress. Today we are experiencing already with Russia and Ukraine. Russia is one of the leading countries in the world. They have all type of technology. But then, unfortunately, they are not using it in the right way. Instead of using it in a positive way for uplifting the people and bringing the people to the right way, they are using it for distraction of their neighbor and their own people. So that is how, when we take in the negative way of education, today we cannot speak only about people holding different degrees. Earlier, education was counted with a person holding a degree or an institution getting the highest percentage of marks in the examination. But that is not the criteria of true education. True education should be able to form and transform every human person and enable him to reach to the intercommunication, inter-dialogue. And that is why it is interesting that this seminar is connected with the Gandhian, International Gandhian Initiative for Non-Violence and Peace. Peace can be established only with the true values, and true values can be given only by the right education. So I thank the organizations of this seminar, and I wish them all the best. I am sure that all those who are going to attend this seminar will profit a lot, and your suggestions will be very valuable for the future to sit together and plan out what could be the type of education in the 21st century. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inspiring words. You have stressed on the role of a teacher, that is to form the human being. At the same time, you have called all of us to adapt new methods in our teaching. Today, what we need is the interpersonal dialogue. It is the need of the hour, and the education should always direct us for peace. It should always reform us. Thank you, Your Lordship. Every beginning necessitates an end, and every ending is a prelude to something greater. May I now request Dr. Asha P. Patros, the convener of the seminar, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, and confusion to clarity. Melody Beati. Respected members of the dais, His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Varapilli, Bishop Emeritus of MDS, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary and Correspondent MDS, Professor Jagannath Dange, Chairperson and Professor, Department of Postgraduation, Kuvempu University, Reverend Father Madalai Muthu, Treasurer MDS, Reverend Father Avinash, Administrator MDS, Dr. Priya Matthew, principal of this college, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, member of IGINP, other dignitaries, invited guests, heads of various institutions, delegates, and participants in various colleges, my fellow colleagues, and dear students. A very good morning to one and all. I considered it as a great privilege to be invited to propose vote of thanks to all those who made this event possible. I am particularly grateful to our president of today's function, His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Varapalli, Bishop Emeritus, who in spite his busy schedule took out time to preside over this function and bless us with his inspiring words. We are humbled by your words, your lordship. On behalf of principal, staff, management, and students of St. Joseph College of Education, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to you, dear Bishop. I extend profound gratitude to Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, the Secretary and Correspondent MTS, who is a great motivator, who keenly supervises all the activities of a college, a visionary leader, and a great inspiration to all of us. Thank you, Reverend Father. We are delighted by the presence of Professor Jagannath Danke, who is the chief guest of today's function and the resource person for the first day's technical session. Within a short notice, he has consented to be our chief guest. On behalf of all gathered here, I extend a sincere gratitude to you, dear Professor. We cannot fail to appreciate the guidance and encouragement of Reverend Father Madalai Muthu, the treasurer of MDS. Thank you, Reverend Father. I would like to wholeheartedly thank Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, member IGINP, for her support and presence during this inaugural function. I wholeheartedly thank Reverend Father Avinash, the administrator and priest in charge of Jayalakshmipuram campus, for his meticulous planning, constant guidance, and support in making this seminar a reality. Thank you, Father. Dr. Priya Matthew, the principal of this college, is a power-packed leader who guides us from the forefront in all our endeavors. It is her indomitable courage that propelled us through all difficulties. I take pride in extending heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Priya Matthew. I cannot fail to appreciate the cooperation of Reverend Father, CEOs, especially Mrs. Joyce Lober ma'am, for her constant guidance and support during the last training session for our all functions. I also take this time to thank Mr. Sebi Maveli, CEO, Training and Development of MDS, for his constant support. I thank all the heads of our sister institution who has blessed us with their presence during this inaugural function. I also thank Mr. Moses, CEO, for his presence during this seminar. The success of this program is a group of very receptive and enthusiastic participants and delegates from different parts of the country, research scholars from abroad, and those who are joining us online. Thank you, everyone. Event of this sort cannot happen overnight. The ball started rolling months back, and our Josephite family did not leave any stone unturned. I sincerely appreciate the cooperation, the support of my colleagues and dear students who put their heart and mind and soul to make this program a grand success. I thank media, press, technical team, and all the facilitators who supported us for this seminar on and off the stage. Thank you, everyone, once again. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. Express a profound gratitude to you for your continuous support and endless enthusiasm in making this seminar a reality. Thank you, ma'am. I now request you all to kindly rise for the national anthem. request the audience to kindly remain in their respected places while the dignitaries leave the hall. Thank you, dear Father, Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Valapillai, for making the time and being with us. I request the audience to kindly rise and give a standing ovation for our dignitaries. Thank you, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, for being with us here today. Thank you, Reverend Father Madalai Muthu, for being here with us today. I thank Reverend Father Avinash for being here and offering his continuous support. I thank Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor, Quimper University, for making his presence today. I thank Ms. Sudha Srinivas Reddy for making her presence here today. Audience, please note, the first technical session will commence in the multipurpose hall at 12:15 p.m. Refreshments will be served for the participants in the first floor. I request the volunteers to guide the participants. The refreshments for the Josephites are being served in the ground floor cafeteria. I request you all to make way for the participants first. Thank you.